You know, there's nothing quite like the joy of waking up in the morning feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day. But if you're one of the many folks over 60 dealing with arthritis, that simple pleasure can sometimes feel out of reach. The stiffness, the aching joints, that nagging discomfort that just won't let up, it can make even the smallest tasks feel like a challenge. But here's the good news: what you eat can make a world of difference. You see, certain foods have this incredible ability to calm inflammation, soothe joint pain, and even help your body repair itself. And today, we're going to talk about 3 of the very best plant-based proteins that can do just that. These aren't just good for arthritis. They're delicious, easy to incorporate into your meals, and packed with nutrients that support your overall health. Now you might be wondering, why plant-based proteins? Well, research shows that many animal proteins can actually worsen inflammation in some people, while plant-based options tend to do the opposite. They're gentle on your system, rich in antioxidants, and often come with a host of other benefits like better digestion and heart health. So, let's dive right in. The first protein on our list is one you might already have in your pantry: lentils. Lentils are these tiny little powerhouses that pack a serious nutritional punch. They're loaded with protein, fiber, and key minerals like magnesium and folate, which are all fantastic for reducing inflammation. But what really makes them stand out for arthritis relief is their high content of polyphenol. Those are natural compounds that act like little firefighters in your body, putting out the flames of inflammation. And the best part? They're so versatile. You can toss them into soups, make a hearty lentil stew, or even use them as a meat substitute in your favorite recipes. If you've never tried lentil burgers, you're in for a treat. They're flavorful, satisfying, and much easier on your joints than fatty meats. But here's a pro tip: if you're new to lentils or beans in general, start slow. Your digestive system will thank you. Soak them before cooking, or opt for canned lentils, just rinse them well to reduce sodium. And if you're looking for a simple way to start, try adding a handful to your next vegetable soup. You'll get that extra protein boost without even noticing. Now, the second plant-based protein on our list is another kitchen staple, but you might not have thought of it as a protein source: quinoa. Quinoa is often called a super grain, but technically it's a seed. And it's one of the few plant foods that contains all 9 essential amino acids, making it a complete protein, something that's pretty rare in the plant world. But for arthritis relief, its real magic lies in its anti-inflammatory properties. Quinoa is rich in quercetin and camphorol, 2 antioxidants that have been shown to reduce inflammation and even protect your joints from further damage. Plus, it's incredibly easy to cook. Just simmer it like rice, and in about 15 minutes, you've got a fluffy, nutty base for salads, stir-fries, or even a warm breakfast bowl. Try mixing it with some roasted vegetables and a drizzle of olive oil. It's a simple, delicious meal that's kind to your joints. And if you're dealing with stiffness in the mornings, quinoa makes a great alternative to oatmeal. Cook it with almond milk, add a sprinkle of cinnamon and some berries, and you've got a breakfast that's not only comforting but also working quietly to ease your arthritis symptoms. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: can these foods really make that much of a difference? Well, the answer is yes, but consistency is key. Just like any natural remedy, it's about making them a regular part of your diet. Think of it as giving your body the tools it needs to heal itself, one meal at a time. And speaking of tools, there's one more plant-based protein we'll be covering that's a game-changer for arthritis relief. But before we get to that, I'd love to hear: have you ever tried lentils or quinoa for joint pain? Or maybe you've got a favorite recipe you swear by. Let me know in the comments below. Now let's move on to the third and final protein, which might just surprise you with how effective it is. You know, sometimes the best solutions are the ones we overlook. The simple, everyday foods that don't get much fanfare but work quietly behind the scenes to make us feel better. That's exactly how I feel about our third plant-based protein for arthritis relief: chia seeds. Now I know what you might be thinking: chia seeds? Those tiny little things? But don't let their size fool you. These little seeds are absolute powerhouses when it comes to fighting inflammation and supporting joint health. Here's why they're so special. chia seeds are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, the same kind you'd find in fish like salmon. But unlike fish, chia seeds are plant-based, shelf-stable, and incredibly easy to add to your diet. Omega-3s are like nature's anti-inflammatory medicine. They help reduce the swelling and stiffness that comes with arthritis, and they even support heart and brain health along the way. But that's not all. Chia seeds are also rich in fiber, which helps keep your digestion smooth, something many of us appreciate as we get older, and they contain calcium and magnesium, two minerals that play a big role in keeping bones and joints strong. Now, the best part? You don't have to do anything complicated with them. One of the easiest ways to enjoy chia seeds is by making chia pudding. Just mix a couple of tablespoons with almond milk or coconut milk, let it sit overnight, and by morning, you've got a creamy, pudding-like treat. Top it with some fresh berries or a drizzle of honey, and you've got a breakfast or snack that's not only delicious but also working to soothe your joints. If you're not into pudding, try sprinkling chia seeds on yogurt, oatmeal, or even salads. They don't have much flavor on their own, so they'll blend right in while giving your meals an extra nutritional boost. Now, I want to pause for a second and talk about something important. While these three plant-based proteins, lentils, quinoa, and chia seeds, are fantastic for arthritis relief, they work best when they're part of a bigger picture. You see, what you remove from your diet can be just as important as what you add. For example, processed foods, refined sugars, and too much red meat can actually worsen inflammation in the body. So, while you're adding these wholesome proteins to your meals, try cutting back on the stuff that might be working against you. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Even small changes can make a big difference over time. And here's another tip: stay hydrated. Water helps keep your joints lubricated and flushes out toxins that can contribute to inflammation. If plain water feels boring, try adding a slice of lemon or cucumber for a little flavor. Herbal teas, like ginger or turmeric tea, are another great option. They're soothing, hydrating, and packed with anti-inflammatory benefits of their own. One more thing: movement matters. I know arthritis can make it tempting to stay still, but gentle exercise like walking, swimming, or even stretching can help keep your joints flexible and reduce pain. Pair that with these anti-inflammatory foods, and you've got a powerful combination for feeling your best. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried chia seeds before? Or maybe you've noticed that certain foods make your arthritis feel better, or worse. Share your experiences in the comments below. Your tips might just help someone else find relief, too. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more simple, natural ways to stay healthy and vibrant at any age. You know, when it comes to managing arthritis, it's easy to feel like you're fighting an uphill battle, especially when well-meaning friends or even doctors suggest solutions that don't quite fit your life. Maybe you've tried medications that left you feeling foggy, or exercises that seemed to make the pain worse before it got better. But here's what I want you to remember: real, lasting change often happens in those small, quiet moments. The extra handful of lentils in your soup, the chia seeds stirred into your morning yogurt, the decision to take a gentle stroll around the block even when your knees protest a little. That's why these three plant-based proteins we've talked about, lentils, quinoa, and chia seeds, are so powerful. They're not miracle cures or quick fixes. They're simple, humble foods that work with your body, not against it. And when you make them a regular part of your life, something beautiful happens. You start to notice the little victories. Maybe it's bending down to tie your shoes without holding your breath, or waking up without that familiar stiffness, or realizing you've just spent an afternoon gardening without paying for it later. But let's take this a step further, because knowledge is only useful when we put it into practice. Here's how to make these foods work for you in real life. First, start where you are. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Next time you're at the store, pick up one thing, maybe a bag of quinoa or a can of lentils. Try just one new recipe this week. Small steps are still steps forward. Second, make it enjoyable. Eating for arthritis relief shouldn't feel like punishment. If you've never liked quinoa, don't force yourself to eat it plain. Try it in a savory pilaf with roasted vegetables and herbs, or mix it into a hearty soup. Love baking? Stir chia seeds into muffin batter for an extra nutrient boost. Food should still bring you joy. That's how habits stick. And third, listen to your body. Maybe chia seeds make you feel energized, or perhaps you notice lentils digest better when paired with certain vegetables. Your body will tell you what works if you pay attention. Keep a little notebook if it helps. Jot down how you feel after meals. Over time, you'll see patterns emerge. Now I want to leave you with one last thought. Arthritis might be part of your life, but it doesn't have to define your life. Every time you choose an anti-inflammatory meal, every time you move your body in a way that feels good, you're reclaiming a little more of your vitality. And that's worth celebrating. So tell me, what's one small change you'll make this week? Will you try chia pudding for breakfast? Or maybe swap out rice for quinoa at dinner? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to cheer you on. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button so others can find this video too. Remember, you've got this. Here's to less pain, more joy, and a life that feels good in every season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.